speaking of PulseChain, so all we did was talk about macroeconomics, Ethereum, Bitcoin for the last 40 minutes, which was fantastic. But let's look at where the PulseChain ecosystem is right now price-wise. So, of course, we've come down over the last couple of weeks, having a little bit of a recovery now that the market has, and we're into a new month. We have Pulse right now at 4 zeros and 3617, Hex at 0084. We've got Pulse X at 4 zeros 2415, Inc. $1.42. eHex is at 00285. And of course, and I'm doing this specifically for Ewok, we have PDI at 004152 and for Crypto 7. So that is where we are with all the tokens in the ecosystem. What do you make of where we're at right now? I mean, again, we just kind of had this conversation, but we're waiting for everything else to go up. But I think Pulse is kind of holding a decent structure here because it's been hanging right around where we've seen a lot of market history. We kind of bounced off the level that was the previous all-time low back in August of 2023 when Gary Gensler and the corrupt SEC brought the lawsuit on. And that's where we've been bouncing off of and showing support. So, yeah, what do you make of that right now, Ewok?
Well, again, I want to take a look at the fear and greed and the altcoin season index here, just so we can monitor these. I want to go back through and look at these as time goes on, be a good touch point for us. Fear and greed is down to 42. People are getting afraid again, and you can tell by certain person's comments in the chat. The weak-handed folks are getting afraid. So this is kind of ticking down a little bit, which is I find interesting. It always happens right before a big run, but that's okay. Altcoin season sitting at 62 out of 100. So find that interesting. Let's open up the old Pulse chart here and see. I think we're up a good, was it 4% today? 5% maybe. Mm-hmm. Let's get her loaded here and we'll see. Yeah. So these levels that we talked about, and I said were critical, that we didn't break down through. Clearly it didn't. It did find support there, bounced off of that nicely. Now we are running into a previous line here at the 326 area where we're at. It's made a couple attempts here. It looks like 3 candles have bounced off of it so far. Be interesting to see what happens with this one today and into tomorrow now that we have a new month. I am curious to see how we react if it bounces off. And again, we could ride in this channel for a little bit of time as well until things really start to pop off. So that's what I think our eyes are on, that this current area that we are in right now. If we can break through it, then I do believe the next area of support is up to the 445 area. So yeah, I think we're looking good. Again, we're looking strong. We've found somewhat of a local floor here, and now we've hit resistance again. So these areas quite critical. Once we get above them, there isn't much, right? There isn't much from history in certain levels. I mean, you can always pick out certain things where they've touched or gone right through. But yeah, as we continue to go up, there are fewer and fewer of them. So keep that in mind as well. When you start to zoom out, really, once we get to 0.003, 0003 area, there's nothing. There's nothing above that. So that's a 10x from here, right? I believe. Yep. Yeah. About a 10x from here. Look out.
Which, I mean, that
can happen overnight.
Well, not only that, but I was going to say a 10x, like people are like, well, I'm not here for a 10x. But I mean, a 10x, if you've been DCAing hardcore all this time, is like, I mean, imagine what your bags could be at that point. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like for those, and people know what I'm talking about. Like if you're out there and you really have been doing the work and DCAing all this time and you got even a 10x, like where you would be right now, and if that were, and that's just Absolutely. To the all-time high. That's only to the Pulse all-time high. That's just the recovery to where it was in May, June of 2023. Yeah. That's all that is. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and we're not here for 10x. I'm sorry. Yes, it would be nice if you DCA'd in and what it can turn into just at that level, but we aren't here for 10x. I'm sorry. I'm not here for a 10x.
well, I think you'd probably take it though. But no, that wouldn't be. I mean, that would look like a failure on the chart. I mean, that would just be recovering where it had hit, whenever it launched, basically. So that's all we're talking about. A 10x is to the Pulse all-time high that was still in a bear market. I mean, it was in 2023. So, yeah, keep that in mind. Go ahead.
Did you bring this comment up that Finesse? Okay.
Go ahead.
Everyone right now is looking at XRP, Doge, ETH, BTC, thinking, damn, I had some of that stuff when it was worth nothing. Now it's too expensive. Same thing will happen with PulseChain. That's crypto. Couldn't have said it better myself, man. That is spot on. It happens with everything. Anything that has community, that has sustained or staying power, I should say, this happens to, right? People say, wait till it dips, and then they forget about it or whatever. It's not worth it. Look, people are bitching about price. Right now is the time to get some of this stuff before it does get too expensive. This is a perfect comment.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. Yeah, well, remains to be seen. We got a long way to go. Maybe not necessarily time-wise, but price-wise on the chart, and it could happen at a asymmetrical time frame. So best to be ready for that, obviously. So